Welcome to Freaky Friday episode. It'll be on the title anyway. Well, I got some interesting stuff to say that's probably going to get me in big shit. But anyways, Freaky Friday. Now, if you've watched the first two or three, you will know that there's been some freaky dicky stuff. A lot of freaky dicky shit that I'll leave the videos in the full corner of your screen. But this episode's going to be controversial. It's going to be shocking. I know that a few people that this video, they may think it's about them, and it probably is about them, I'm not going to lie. They're going to be like, what the fuck, he actually went there? I'm going to go there because there's a lot of stuff that has been freaky. So, where do I start? Where do I fucking start? Okay. Let's explain something. What you do in your personal life is your business, right? And, you know, you've got to do things legally. So here's a story for you. So, someone I met recently, a very, very bad druggie. And what she does in her personal life is that's her business. But the fact that the other illegal stuff that she does in her life is it's fucking disgusting. When you're an adult and you have kids, you don't hand feed them drugs, especially when they're under the age of 15. What kind of sick fucker does that? You're handing out marijuana to underage kids like it's lollies. That's fucking illegal. How the fuck can you do that? You're supposed to be a parent. You're supposed to encourage your kids to do the right thing, and you're handing them marijuana into their hands. You're letting them smoke vapes. That's not a responsible adult. It's illegal what you're doing. That's fucking freaky. You're supposed to encourage your kids to do the best things in life and stay away from that sort of environment. And the fact that you have a pin number on your door so your kids don't get your methamphetamines. That's pretty fucking freaky. And the fact that you let your kids fucking do that, like, I'm sorry, but under the age of 18, your kids should, number one, not be doing illicit drugs. They should not be sexually active. They should not be smoking. Sorry, but that's just disgusting. Like, the fact that this person would let their 14-year-old have sex at that age. What's wrong with you? That's fucking so bad. You're supposed to be a parent. You're not supposed to... and you'd never let a kid, talk to you the way, If I had a kid, there's no way I'd let my kid swear at me and be abusive. That's fucking wrong. You don't give kids drugs. You don't give them smokes. You don't give them vapes. You don't give them that sort of stuff. That's illegal. You could go to jail for you could lose your kids for that. And then, the freakiest part of the story is when you see these kids smoking bongs in their shed and there's a sex doll in the shed. An adult sex doll that's very lifelike with no head. Why would you keep, number one, something like that, but number two, let people touch it? What is wrong with you? What the fuck? That's disgusting behavior. You've got kids and you're bringing them up in an environment like that. And like most druggies, the same story that I've told in most videos, messy house. They don't respect anyone but themselves. I've said this in a lot of vids. Druggies, unfortunately, they don't care about anyone but themselves. And the thing that freaks me out is even having sex with this person that I've had, it was so fucking boring. I did all the work and fucking... It was so quickly like that for an orgasm for her. Don't get me wrong, I did my job, right? But yeah. And the paranoia this person had, these druggies have this very bad paranoia, you're always talking about them and, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, the reason why you don't want people talking about you is because you're doing illegal stuff, right? The fact that your own daughter should, number one, not be having sex at that age, but number two, the fact that you're telling your daughter and her boyfriend about not to do anal sex. The fuck are you talking about? You should never be talking about anal sex to underage kids. There's something wrong with you. And that's fucked. Like, how do you do that shit? Like, I've heard about freaky shit before, but if I had kids having sex, the first thing I'd say is protection. And second thing is I'd be like, you know, not encouraging it. Like, the fact that you encourage it, it's just... Oh, just... And that's not even the freaky part. Like, when you get to a certain age, you've got to realize that you need to, you know, obviously settle down in life and, you know, do the right thing. And doing the right thing is obviously for any parent to bring their kids up in a safe environment. And that household is not even safe for anybody to live in. And I'll tell you something, the fact that if I had a daughter that was, you know, getting to fist fights with her boyfriend, I would be kicking that motherfucker out of the house. And I would definitely be saying, no, that's it. You go live somewhere else. You don't condone violence. I'll tell you another freaky story to get off that subject. As I said in one vid, right, sex is a thing that we will like. And there's a lot of people that like to experiment in the bedroom. Me too. I've done some interesting stuff in my time, let me tell you. It's probably all on the other episodes of Freaky Friday, but here's one for you. So, the whole schoolgirl fetish, right? Let's just be really frank about this, because I got to talk about this once before. So, I know people have fetishes, right? And I'm going to tell you one of my stories about this. So this is what's very disturbing about this. So I dated someone, right? And we wanted to spice it up a little. Maybe I've told this story before on Freaky Friday, but I'm going to tell it again. And we were like, oh, how do you want to spice it up? She goes, well, I can be a schoolgirl and, you know, you can be my stepdaddy. And I'm like, okay. And I was thinking to myself, alright, whatever. But okay, the thing that worries me about anyone that does this fetish, if you're into your partner dressing up like a schoolgirl, it's disturbing to a point where sometimes you got to think that, you know, you're not obviously attracted to a young schoolgirl, but it's wearing the same sort of clothes as a schoolgirl anyway. So I had this discussion with someone before, and I'm like, alright, you know, everyone has their kinks, I'll go for it, and I'll do it. And this was like someone with daddy issues, obviously, because, you know, I said to her, all right, we'll do this, we'll play the role and stuff. And so she's all dressed up and stuff, and I pretend, you know, daddy's home, and I'm like, oh, you're not in school? Oh, sorry, daddy, I've been a bad girl. I was smoking, you know, and I got caught, and, you know, hope mum doesn't find out. And me playing the role goes, well, you're gonna need to be punished. And she's like, oh, daddy, please punish me. And I'm like, okay. And yeah, it was nothing but, daddy, oh, I've been a bad girl, daddy, you know, punish me, and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, there was sideways, her on top of me on top. You know, it was just kept going. The sex kept going. And the whole, I've been a very bad girl, daddy. Oh, fuck me, dad. I'm like, number one, that's one thing, but you think, did these girls actually think they're an actual schoolgirl and getting punished by their dads? Like, I'm sorry, but Don't get me wrong, sex was great. But we all have needs. And it's not like, and I'll say this, some girls like it up the back door, some don't. And I feel like the ones that don't have obviously had very bad experiences in that department. Because the ones that I have, they really like the back door and they really get more excited. Whereas the ones that don't are very different in the bedroom. They're very they're at one gear. They're not trying to new things. They're just they're happy just going on top. They're just happy going at the bottom. They don't really like to go any kinkier than that, anything. But the ones that don't have boundaries, oh my god, they're the freakiest ones. They're the ones you want to do stuff with. They're the ones you want to fucking do anything for. If you want to change genders and play different roles, like the male bees the female, female bees the man, that's fine, right? But the thing you've got to understand is this: as you get older, that sex drive, it disappears, and you've got to understand that sometimes the guy doesn't want to go to the back door. Sometimes the guy doesn't want to go down, and it's the same goes for women. Like the last one I hooked up with, man, it was boring. I thought, well, she's old enough, she's probably got experience, and she's like, oh, I don't do much in the bedroom. I'm like, yeah, it tells. You can pop up kids all you want, but that's all you're good at, is popping out kids and doing drugs. It's just what the fuck? And no offense to her, but at her age, when she doesn't drive, she doesn't work, she doesn't do anything, she's got over 6 kids, and she looks like a druggie. You know how when people do drugs that age badly? Oof. Surprisingly, she's got her teeth. But people like that, it's scary to think that, we will grow old. Look, I ain't getting younger either. At least I've still got a head of hair, I've still got my hair all black. I don't dye it. Well, this time I have, just because I want it black. I don't like it brown. But I didn't have any greys. And people say to me, you look so good for your age. What's your secret? I'm like, well, sex. Lots of it. Obviously, it's good hooking up with people younger than me. But in life, I'll tell you something. And this kind of digs into relationships and shit. But if you're not happy in your relationship, you spice it up. You can't just have normal sex. You've got to do something to spice up. Otherwise, your partner's just going to piss off. I'll tell you that now. You can't just think, what you're doing all the time is boring. You've got to spice it up. You've got to use sex toys. You've got to use fucking, put on a bit of porn together. Get ideas. Because if you're doing the same thing over and over again, the relationship's just going to get boring. And it'll get to a point where you'll leave each other anyway or cheat on each other. I said this in a previous video, we've all been burned. We've fucking all been burned. We've all been cheated on, lied to, abused. Fuck it. It's the past. It's the fucking past. Get the fuck over it. If you want to have a good future, then fucking move forward. It's people out there saying, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm not ready for a relationship. You're not ever going to be ready for a relationship with that attitude. Because you're fucking dwelling on the past. Some guy fucked you over. Get the fuck over it. I told someone that I dated this year, I told her straight out, I didn't want to be with her. I said to her, number one, she's a fucking liar. I can't stand fucking lies. Number two, is a cheater. But also number three, the fact that even when she was in a relationship with me, she was video chatting other guys on another social media app. That's disrespectful. While you're in the company of someone, why do you need to be chatting to other guys by video chatting them? And that person is absolutely fucked. This person legit is so fucked that she makes up lies to every single guy that she dates. And then after they break up, oh, that guy cheated on me. That guy cheated on me. It's he didn't even fucking cheat on you. And I hate how people manipulate people in that situation. I'm going to tell you a story about druggies, alright? I'm going to tell you a little story about druggies. They will literally do anything for drugs. They will suck cock for drugs. They will fucking sleep with people for drugs and do sexual favours. Because number one, not only do they get free drugs, but they get sex too. So they're getting their drugs for free, they're getting their sex for free, so they're getting the best of two worlds. And that's why these druggies don't make good relationships. That's why they will never be a good role model to their kids. They'll never be, because that's what they do for drugs. They can't afford it, so they'll say, all right, I'll suck your dick for it, or fucking I'll hook up with you. And it's like, they're getting the best of both worlds because they get both their free drugs and sex. Hey, fuck, I'd like that life. Let me just give me a second. I just got to come back to this subject. And the thing about drugs, I'll tell you a story about someone who's no. So I drove this person one night to go pick up her drugs, yeah? And her boyfriend's in the car with me. And went to this shopping center or something, a fucking car park or something. And there's like a car full of guys in front, right? There's two in the front, one's driver, one passenger, and there's two guys at the back. And you know what druggies do for drugs? You could see in the back, because she went in the back with the two guys that were in the back, and she was probably sucking one off and giving the other one hand at the same time for her drugs. Or probably getting fucked in the ass and sucking the other guy's dick, like spit roast in the back seat. Because you could tell, like, her boyfriend was in the back. He couldn't see much. But I could see the car moving up and down in that back seat. That's fucked. I'm sorry, but that's fucked. And once you came back in, you know the smell of cum? You could smell it on her, and it's like, that's fucking dirty. Like, druggies like that's just so fucking dirty. And the partner knows that she probably, because it's his drugs too. So she goes and be's a little whore. Takes one for the team, so to speak, and fucking, gets the drugs, and she just had sex and gave another guy head for the drugs. How fucking dirty is that? And you see, and then this is what these druggies do for their drugs. That's sick. Like, I'm sorry, but as a person, how can you live with yourself knowing you've done that kind of stuff for drugs? It's so wrong. And this is why in Freaky Fridays, we tell it like it is. We don't hold back. We just... I mean, I've got kinks too. But the thing about my kinks is, mine's all legal. Mine's all legal. The stuff we talked about in this video is illegal. What people do with their kids. And, I've even known, like, mothers that have daughters to be like, hey, look, we need, the dope, we need the drugs. Can you go do something? So soliciting their own daughters, like, for drugs. Say, go suck that guy's dick. He'll give us some money. He'll give us some drugs. I know some people have done that to their kids. And I wouldn't even be surprised if the 40-something-year-old that I hooked up with recently, what she does with her drugs. Because she gets her drugs and she doesn't have money. So, but I understand, like, marijuana, let's discuss this, is more healthier than vapes and cigarettes. Don't get me wrong. But it's still fucking illegal to give to anyone under the age of 16. You shouldn't even be doing that. Alright? And the fact that the kids at that age are doing more than just marijuana, you're being a very bad mother or father to your kids if you're letting them do anything more than that. And vapes are more worse than anything, and you let that go on for your kids. But yeah, I had to, like, make a video about this because it's been eating at me for a while. Like, there's a lot of stuff that Freaky Friday, like I said, this one's a bit different to the other Freaky Fridays. We tell stories about such and stuff, and I'll leave the links here, but at the end of the day, you're allowed to be freaky dicky. As long as it's illegal. As long as it's legal. Don't involve animals. Don't involve kids. You're fine. But there's unfortunately people out there that get off over little schoolgirls and get off over drugs and shit like that, and it's fucked up. But anyways, check the last vid. I made a video about my best friend of 12 years plus. You'll get to know me and what I experienced with that person. It's worth a watch. Please check out all the other Freaky Friday episodes. I was going to upload a video of me doing the cover for Green Day, Time of Your Life, but for some reason YouTube, because of copyright infringement laws, will not let me upload that video. I've uploaded a lot of singing vids before, but that one in particular just went straight to block. So yeah, I'm going to try find out why that particular song and that particular band, because Other people, I reckon, have done that song. I've seen other people do that song, so I'm kind of curious how they got it past the upload stage, because I got it upload and it said block straight away. So, gonna look into that. But yeah, thank you for watching this episode of Freaky Friday. We'll talk in the next one.